So looking for another win from Beau Bartlett.
Bartlett mentioned 9-0, 2 majors, no techs, 4 pinfalls on the campaign, 2-2 and 3 in those same categories for Fongaro. 2 of the best on best, 2 veterans, 2 leaders, and they'll lock up in just a moment here at 141. 9-0 the overall dual advantage for the Nittany Lions after Davis and Nagao get bonus victories to kick off in the first 2 weight classes. Bartlett and the Jersey native in Fongaro lock up on the right center of the mat. Fongaro whips around, creates a little bit of separation there from Bartlett. Mentioned Fongaro won by Tech Friday night in his trip back to Jersey. Columbia transfer, younger brother actually wrestles for Rutgers as well. Step up this season, already matched his season win total from a year ago at Columbia. He's 16-1 thus far in the campaign, 16-6 last year at Columbia, where he finished 6th in the EIWA championships. Adriana Bartlett talked this week after a bit of a close victory against Cleveland Belton in a hard-fought 8-5 victory about just the difference in making weight after, you know, the holiday break, him having nationals where he wrestled around 143.3, he said it about weight. So going back down to 141 was a bit of a challenge. It was also a layoff in dual action from him that spanned all the way back to the home opener against Lehigh and the season opener for the Nittany Lions. So a bit of a layoff, a bit of a trouble-making weight, Bartlett said, and then just trying to get back in the groove of things against Belton is what he accredited the close finish to. Trying to get a bit of a bigger victory here today at ranked matchup again against Fongaro.
Especially in coming home in front of this Rec Hall crowd where they love Beau Bartlett.
Mentioned as well the environment in Corvallis, said take nothing away from Oregon State. He didn't see it coming, but gave them all the credit in the world that the environment played an impact. Cleveland Belton as well, his opponent last weekend in Corvallis. Native of Corvallis, probably helps with the environment a little bit as well. Arizona native in Bartlett, pressing the head down a little bit here of Fongaro, left center of the mat. First minute and a half. And then some expires. No points on the board from either men. His 2 top 25 guys feeling one or other out. Crowd gets into it for a moment there as Bartlett has the right leg, center of the mat. Bartlett setting up Fongaro, potentially Fongaro trying to evade. And Bartlett loses control of that leg. They break once again. Hand fighting and tie-ups has been the MO in these first 2 minutes. We'll see if anything changes in this last minute or so, as both veterans trying to see who will make the first mistake as they dance around the near side of the mat, just by the scorer's table, and eventually refs will call for a break with under 30 to go. Mentioned in the initial bout between Davis and Spangler, that was a bit of a chess match. Give the advantage to Davis, who would eventually win by major decision, but this is a true chess match. Graduate versus a senior. And 2 veterans who have been in high-profile bouts before. Bartlett, that right hand giving up now to Fongaro, but his left wrapped around that headgear. Fongaro. No score from either man, but that's about what you'd expect in what has potential to be one of the matches of the afternoon here at 141. Starting position here. Going to be one of the biggest crucial differentiators for either man. Bartlett starts down. Fongaro on top as we kick off the second period. What'd you see in the first? Anything tell for either man that they might be able to take advantage of?
I just think that it was a chess match trying to feel each other out. Again, a graduate student against a senior, 2 veterans who have been around this mat, so they were just trying to gain pace on each other.
Bartlett, as you mentioned, the fan favorite, gets applause. He gets an escape. First point on the board from either man here at 141. Give about an 8-second riding time advantage, though, to Fongaro. Now on the far side, Bartlett wrapping up the head. Fongaro breaks once again. Now back right by the eye of the Penn State logo. The center of the mat. Fongaro drops down. Bartlett doesn't match him, stays at his feet. Right arm of Fongaro wrapped around Bartlett. Now Bartlett drops down. Bartlett's got that leg of Fongaro, left one again. Fongaro tries to regain positioning and stave off Bartlett. Bartlett swings around, Fongaro won't drop. Now he's got the knee. Bartlett trying to assert something here in the final minute of the second period. He's got Fongaro in the air. Brings Fongaro down, but all credit to Fongaro who pops back up. This time around, still no points awarded, but Fongaro goes down, and it's true this time. Left shoulder of Fongaro down. Bartlett has that right arm completely wrapped around the lower body of Fongaro, now pressing his shoulder in Fongaro's midsection. One shoulder down for Fongaro. And eventually a ref calls for the break. They'll go back into center, and not one exactly Penn State faithful like this. Bartlett had about the biggest advantage we've seen either man get thus far in the bout.
Yeah, definitely. And what a great move by Bartlett, able to pick Fongaro up and then put him onto the mat and then really just work at him until the ref called for a break.
So Bartlett establishes a marginal point advantage, but nearly knocking on the door of some greater advantage there at the end of the second. 1-0 the advantage in this tightly contested bout. Now, ever crucial opportunity here. Bartlett starting on top. Fongaro down. Fongaro could just as easily knot this back up at one apiece if he can nab and escape. Bartlett pressing his knees down, wrapping around the midsection of Fongaro. Fongaro using that arm eventually works the escape. Nabs a point. 2 seconds of riding time. The very, very small advantage for Bartlett here as we enter the final minute 40 of the third period at 141. 9-0 overall dual advantage for the #1 ranked undefeated Nittany Lions. For the Hoosiers, they'd love to get on the board here with a potential win and a major upset from Fongaro. Bartlett, as we mentioned, hard-fought bout against Belton in his hometown of Corvallis last weekend. Another hard-fought contest thus far here back at home to kick off conference dual action. Let's go, Beau. Chance developing here from a packed rec hall crowd. Bartlett a fan favorite in this hard-fought bout. This place could erupt for even just a few points for the veteran from Arizona. Fongaro drops down to the knees, and eventually they break. Under a minute to go here in the third at 141. Bartlett wraps around Fongaro, now tries to get the leg intel. Huge move from Bartlett. No points on the board just yet. But Bartlett in control, has that leg wrapped around Fongaro. Fongaro, incredible strength here to stave off Bartlett in the center of the mat. Bartlett has a shoulder down on Fongaro, but once again, similar to the end of the initial period, no points yet. Now Bartlett, he's got a near fall. Can he go for the gusto in a hard-fought bout? Beau Bartlett, they were evened at one apiece, now has the point advantage, and Beau Bartlett wins by decision. A near fall finishes it off, and Beau Bartlett in a veteran clash gets the win at 141. Final 8-1 after the near fall. A huge win for Beau Bartlett, who Fongaro, give him all the credit, stayed in it, but Beau Bartlett turns on the Jets at the end to win by decision.
Definitely, Dan Fongaro, as you said, in the center, whole mentality of sometimes you got to give points to get points.
So Tyler Kasich, Braden Davis come through to preserve a 17-0 advantage. Nagawa and Bartlett do what they do best. They get victories. Bartlett in a tightly contested one. Nagawa, it was all Nagawa. Now the meat and potatoes of the lineup. Haines, Messon, Brink, Starocci. We'll see Brooks and Kerkvliet later. And either Ball or Bar, 184. But we round out the first five with Levi Haines, top-ranked wrestler in the nation. The sophomore at 157. He'll go up against Zack Rotkvich, redshirt sophomore from Chicago, Illinois. 4-4 on the campaign. 5-9 last year, former Greco-Roman state champion, high school, and an academic All-Big Ten a year ago. Rotkvich fell by major decision on Friday night, 9-0 to Al DeSantis in Piscataway. Good opportunity for Haines to nab some bonus points here, but in the first 40 seconds, quiet start. Haines didn't like that. He quiets me down with a 3-point takedown there. Haines, as we talked about before the bout started, Adriana, has had some slow starts. Gets up to a 3-point advantage here. Starts building the riding time clock. And going up against the unranked Rotkvich. Maybe going to try to make quick work of him. Big opportunity, though, for Rotkvich to go up against the top-ranked guy in the nation. Get that valuable experience. And maybe make magic happen. Haines has him pressed down, head down, and arm wrapped around the neck in the center of the mat. Legs wrapped around that right leg as well. Active lower body from Haines. Trying to see if he can establish some momentum on the leg. Flip Rotkvich over. Rotkvich gets those hands out. And now able to stand back up, at least for just a moment there, before the leg swept out from Haines yet again. 3-0 the advantage from the PA native and Haines. With about 1:10 to go in the initial period here at 1:57, 17-0 dual lead for the Nittany Lions. In all Penn State thus far. Even adding a massive tech fall victory from the youngster and Tyler Kasich moments ago. Haines looking for the clean shutout from the first 5 matches. And just pressing down on Rotkvich here with over 1.5 minutes of riding time and then some, continuing to build in this initial period. Stall warning here to Rotkvich. Zack Rotkvich, more than capable wrestler, wrestled unattached before his campaign a year prior. Had a plus 29 point differential. He can absolutely score points 2021 to 2022 when he was in unattached 6-5, but a lot of those 6 wins were in bonus territory. But right now, the bonus territory, well, likely more of a topic for Haines than Rotkvich, who now is over 2 minutes of riding time on the far left side of the mat. Haines now twisting that right arm and pressing down on Rotkvich. As time expires in the first period, Haines 3-0 advantage, 2:17 riding time advantage. Just in complete control over Rotkvich.
Yeah, Haines with an absolutely dominant first period, really utilizing that riding time like you said, Dylan.
Rotkvich tried to hand fight against Haines for a moment. Haines drops down. Haines flips over the legs. Now Haines looking to establish leverage. He's got that leg wrapped around, flips over, and gets the takedown, pressing down now on Rotkvich. 3 more points, 6-0 advantage for Haines. Now Haines locking that leg and trying to shoot. And flip over Rotkvich. One shoulder down for Rotkvich. Still has enough leverage for now to maintain control and stay in the bout. Just a nasty, nasty move on that right leg there from Haines. At the very least, wearing down Rotkvich. Now approaching near fall. The scalp again. As a shoulder press down. Over 3 minutes of riding time for Haines. 6-0 point advantage. One shoulder press down of Rotkvich. Rotkvich staying alive. Give him credit. But some big points coming Haines' way. Make it 4. With about 45 seconds to go in the second, a near fall for Haines. 10-0 advantage over the Chicago native. Once again, that right leg locked in on Rotkvich. Again, trying to turn the shoulder over. But if he can tab enough points here with that arm pressed down into the neck of Rotkvich, that leg just completely gripped around. See Rotkvich grimacing here, one shoulder down. Now trying to get the second. Haines has him on the ropes, smells blood in the water. Rotkvich kicking. Squirman trying to stay alive. Final second here with the near fall. 4 more points for Haines. Rotkvich actually lucky to stay alive in that one. Over 4 minutes of riding time, completely dominant Levi Haines performance, and on the verge of a tech fall. Really was on the verge of a fall. Rotkvich similar to Rooks just a match ago, just trying to stay alive. Haines going for the gusto, pressing down. They'd started neutral. They didn't last there for very long. Haines incredibly active, not content just riding out this point advantage. He wants more. Once again, has that leg gripped around. We'll just go to the midsection and continue to press down on Rotkvich. Active legs from Haines here in the third period. Swings around, trying to grab that right leg yet again of Rotkvich. He's been setting it up all about long. Nearly turned him over at the end of the second. He's got the leg yet again. Now trying to turn him over. That's a dangerous position. Bit of a warning, watch the headgear, watch the neck of Rotkvich as he had that roped around yet again. Back in neutral, hand fighting center of the mat. Under 60 seconds to go, Levi Haines in complete control. And a takedown puts a pin in this one. Levi Haines, 17-0, over 4 minutes of riding time, and just a dominant victory for the #1 wrestler in the nation at 157. A shutout from Haines, a shutout from Case. Won't get to go against rival DJ Washington, who to all accord looks like he was a healthy scratch. Washington, one of just 2 to ever beat Carter Starocci. Starocci instead will go up against Robert Major, the Carmel, Indiana native, redshirt sophomore, 2-6 on the campaign. Gets a taste of the #1 ranked wrestler in the nation. Nittany Lions lead 28-0 after the Mess and Brink victory. So we kick things off here at 174. Also be remiss not to mention, Starocci pressed it down on the near side. So sending our best here to Travis Whitlake this week after the accident was working on his truck. Is takedown there from Starocci. Starocci went up against Whitlake, sent his best to him on social media as well. The wrestling community gathering behind Whitlake, top 10 ranked wrestler at 174. Update on him, recovery going well after the injuries. Over $105,000 raised for his GoFundMe, though, for his medical fund after the leg compound fracture when he was working on his truck. So sending our best to the Whitlake family. Go check out the GoFundMe as well. Travis Whitlake Jr. Emergency Medical Fund. Mentioned over 105,000 raised. Wrestling community gathering behind a great cause for a great wrestler at 174. As I mentioned, Starocci sending him his best after their match just about a week ago. Starocci quickly jumping out to a lead here on Major. 6-2 the advantage. As Starocci pressing down on the near side of the mat. Now dragging, actually, Major back in as he has that leg wrapped around. Starocci doing it with relative ease. Give him 3 more points. 9-2 advantage. And now Starocci just pressing the head down to Major. A little bit of a shove there out of bounds. So 3 points tabbed for Major. Hanging with Starocci here, but Starocci just kind of picking his poison in pretty complete control. Major tries to drop down, get that leg, but Starocci swallows it right up on that right center side of the mat. Starocci now picks up the lower body of Major, flips him over, grabs the leg. You saw a little bit of a retreat from Major, and Starocci just with relative ease just puts him right back down. It kind of just says you're not going anywhere. 12-3 the advantage now, 9 points for the Erie native. Starocci just pressing down on the far center side of the mat. Really just using his upper body, now his legs to press down on Major there as he gets a warning as that knee right in the back of the neck. Coach is checking in as well. We call for a break, and we'll see Major start on the bottom here. Sanderson giving a little bit of advisement for here. Starocci catches his breath. 9-point advantage, 12-3 your score with under 45 seconds to go in this bout here at 174 in the opening period. That is 40 seconds or so riding time accumulated for Starocci, who's in complete control. Major gets the escape, trims the deficit to 8. Still in Major territory for Starocci. Looking for more in what has been an all Penn State duel thus far. 28-0 the advantage. Under 30 seconds to go. Starocci another takedown. Give that advantage now to 11 points, 15-4, as he's trying to pick Major right back up. We saw him kind of just drag him back in on the near side of the mat. Now they're on the far left side. And call for a break yet again. I'd like to say it's been technical dominance, but it's just been pure disadvantage for Major here as Starocci's just complete control.
Yeah, Starocci, he is the best wrestler in his weight class, and he's one of the best wrestlers, period, in the nation. So no surprise here that this is pretty dominant from Carter Starocci.
Overpowers Major to the tune of a 15-4 advantage at the end of period 1, and about 61 seconds of riding time added onto that for good measure. We're set to go with 2 minutes more in period 2. Starocci leading by 11. See if he can join the tech party that has kind of taken place here this afternoon from Rec Hall. Tech from Aaron DeGow at 133 by 19-4 advantage. Tyler Kasich, the board showed 16-0 initially. Take a point back. Doesn't matter. Kasich still wins in a shutout fashion, 15-0 the freshman over the 14th ranked Brooks, and then 17-0 Tech for Haines as well. Starocci trying to do more of the same, has that right arm locked in, now trying to continue to press lower body down and pull up on that arm. Just a nasty position set in here on Major. Major squirming around. Starocci tries to turn over Major. He's got a shoulder down, let the near fall count begin. Starocci, that arm wrapped around. Dangerous position for Robert Major, the sophomore. Sophomore squirms around. But the near fall is all she wrote. Carter Starocci does what he does best. Gets in on the tech fall action. DeGow, Kasich, Haines, and now Starocci get techs in the contest. A national champion, 4-time All-American. He suffered a stinger last Friday in Corvallis, but gets the go nonetheless this afternoon. Looks to be all good. And he comes out with Penn State leading and shutting out Indiana 37-0. Top-ranked guy at 197 as he's been, as he will continue to be on the campaign, barring any upset, at least as we enter Big Ten Conference action. He goes up against Gabe Solers, the redshirt freshman from Evansville, Indiana, 17-7 on a stout freshman campaign for him. He's fallen in all 3 ranked bouts he's had thus far. Had a taste of some in the Southern Scuffle a few weeks ago when he gets representation from Oklahoma and Stanford. And then fell by a 7-1 decision on Friday against Poznansky. Brooks, 3 points. But Zollers has had a hot start at 197, a guy to watch for in a post-Aaron Brooks world in the future. Was 4th in the Southern Scuffle, 1st at the battle at Citadel. Zollers and Brooks lock up after the takedown in the center of the mat. Brooks tries to drop down, grab the leg. He's got control of it. Mark it, 3 more points for Brooks. 6-1 now, the advantage here in the early going of the first period. Minute in. And Brooks in control. Great opportunity, Adriana, for Zollers to get a taste of the top-ranked wrestler in the country.
Definitely, and a 3-time world medalist in Aaron Brooks. Was honored before the match began for his performance in Albania.
Mark an escape for Zollers, 6-2. The score, mentioned 37 points on the afternoon for Penn State, shutting out the Hoosiers, who come into this with a 3-1 record. They fell 30-11 to Rutgers in Piscataway on Friday night. Penn State looking for the Queen sweep, as well as to preserve their win streak. It's at 47 matches. See if they can get to 48. Brooks in control. Honorgatsky, 3 more points for him. 9-2 with him under a minute to go in the first. Brooks pressing down the edge of that Nittany Lion logo. Brooks, another guy just like Starocci. Last dance here in Happy Valley. 17-1 a year ago, undefeated thus far on the campaign. 5-0, the Maryland native. Brooks just pressing down, building the riding time up over a minute now. 7-point advantage. About as much of a clinic as you can ask for in this initial period. Warning given the Zollers. Under 10 to go in the first. Time likely set to expire in the first, but hot start from Brooks. 7-point advantage. Just around a minute and a half of riding time. It'll finish at a minute 27. Adriana, 197, 285. They've been really the punch to finish things out for Penn State, and you're getting set for the treat here between Brooks and Kerkvliet, set to go in just a few moments.
Yeah, Brooks and Kerkvliet, your bigger guys, the guys who are the hard hitters at the end of this Penn State lineup. Great performance by Aaron Brooks, and we'll see Greg Kerkvliet in a few minutes.
Not before Brooks will look to maybe get some bonus points and finish out this one. Gets an escape there, making an 8-point advantage now in major decision territory as well, with about a minute and 23 of riding time as we enter the second here at 197. Penn State getting set for this huge road swing ahead. Trip to Michigan and Maryland on the docket in the coming weeks before they return back here in February. Brooks, another takedown on the near side of the mat on Solers. 13-2 the advantage, 11 points. Escape for Solers, make it 10, 13-3. Brooks still in complete control. Bit of a football tackle there. Mark it either way, 13-point advantage for Brooks. Another takedown before Solers gets the escape as they go out on the near side. But Brooks, Adrian, on an afternoon we've seen a plethora of techs. The veteran looking to get one of his own. Got the arm wrapped around, now presses it down, and another takedown, finishes it off for the U23 World Champion. Was honored prior to the duel kicking off and treats the fans to a clinic and a quick show against Solers. Take nothing away from Solers. Young freshman will be before they return back here to Rec Hall on February 2nd. You also have the BJC duel coming up within the next month or so. February 12th, they'll tie up against Rutgers. Greg Kerkvliet, Nick Willham on the mat for the final action this dual afternoon. Kerkvliet has the leg of Willham. No points yet. Plows him down. Kerkvliet, the takedown. A huge one. And Kerkvliet starting off with a bang here against the senior in Willham. The Greenwood, Indiana native fell 4-1 on Friday night by decision. That was a 3-point deficit when he fell. Finds himself in the similar boat here against the #1 ranked Kerkvliet in the early going. Penn State looking to punctuate their 33rd shutout in program history. And Kerkvliet, near fall. Start counting it. He's got a shoulder down on Willham. Willham picks back up for a moment. It's at a 2 count right now. See if Kerkvliet can add any more. Willham picks back over. Mark it 2 more points for Kerkvliet. 5-0 now, the advantage in just under the first minute and a half still of action here. Last time the Nittany Lions were able to secure a shutout was against Rider, February 20th, 2022 here from Rec Hall. Last time they had a Big Ten dual shutout by a 46-0 win against Maryland in College Park that same year. Kerkvliet looking to be the guy to do it. He's been all reliable for most of his tenure with the blue and white. Pressing down on Willham in the center of the mat. Already has a takedown and a near fall. Maybe looking to get Penn State's first pin of the night and send the fans home even happier than they already are. He's got that midsection of Willham in tow. Kerkvliet, a 3-time All-American, was the NCAA runner-up. Year ago, 19-3 campaign, 4-time Minnesota State champion from Grove Heights. One of the most storied heavyweights in all of collegiate wrestling. On a collision course for national accolades. Once again, this campaign, Kerkvliet picking his positioning on Willham, looks over to his coaches, trying to pick his poison. Kind of see a similar tactic to what we saw with Starocci in his bout against Major. How do I want to finish this off? What could I do to try to extend the point advantage? But Willham gets a stolen warning as Kerkvliet, in these final 30 seconds of the first here at 285, already off to an explosive start. See if he can make anything more happen here or ride out what he already has of a about 2-minute and 25-second riding time advantage. Kerkvliet. See the final seconds or so expire here as Willham tries to get up for a moment. Kerkvliet just presses him right back down by the center of the mat, Kerkvliet leads 5-0 with over 2 minutes, 41 seconds of riding time tabulated in that first period. All Kerkvliet, Adriana.
Yeah, Kerkvliet working really closely to the mat, 2 minutes, 41 seconds of riding time, really using that to his advantage.
Mentioned Penn State heads on the road next week. They'll kick it all off Friday night against Michigan in Ann Arbor. The first time Kerkvliet won't go up against Mason Paris in a while, longtime rival. As Kerkvliet now takes Paris' slot as the top dog at 285. Gets an escape there. 6-point advantage now here. See what Kerkvliet does as they hand fight. Center of the mat. Willham tries to get a little leverage and press down on Kerkvliet's head. Kerkvliet swings right back, wraps his arm around, and now drops down, shoots the leg. Another takedown for Kerkvliet, pressing down on Willham. Kerkvliet just laying down, making Willham wear his weight. Right around the far center of the mat. Fans have stuck around to watch Kerkvliet continue what's been a clinic from the top-ranked Nittany Lions and really every blue and white wrestler who's touched the mat this afternoon. Kerkvliet pressing down, just wearing out Willham down to the final minute of the second. 9-point advantage. 3 minutes and counting of riding time. Greg Kerkvliet, like a barracuda, makes you think you got a shot in the onset, quickly draws you in and wears you out. And just working down Willham here, tiring him out. And in complete control. Every time he even tries to sit back up, Adriana just pressing right back down.
Yeah, he's working Willham really, really well.
Final 20 of the second. Just completely pressing down. We'll see the time in the second. Come to a close in a moment, not before. A stall from Willham gets another point for Kerkvliet, make it 10-0 now, leading by double digits, firmly in major territory, especially with about 4 minutes of riding time accumulated. See if he can join the tech fall action this afternoon, but Kerkvliet just in control, getting some work in this afternoon. As some fans start to get a quick jump on their ride home, but most staying to watch Kerkvliet polish off what has been an incredible performance from Penn State. Still 2 minutes left to decide it. Magic can always happen. It ain't over till it's over, as they say, but when you're up against the undefeated Greg Kerkvliet, 5-0 on the campaign, just try to get points on the board, and that's exactly what Willham does there. Picks up a point, trims deficit to 9, 10-1. Kerkvliet drops down, grabs the midsection for a moment. Now the hand fight on the edge of that Nittany Lion logo. Break for a moment. Kerkvliet calculates, resettles. Both men lock up yet again. Kerkvliet breaks it. Fake out for a moment. Picking his poison. Figuring out what blow he's going to try to force in here. Head grip there from Willham. Same for Kerkvliet. They break up yet again. A minute 15 to go in the bout and counting. At 285, Kerkvliet in complete control. Goes for the football tackle, tries to bring him down. Gets another takedown. 13-1, your score. Over 4 minutes and 15 seconds of riding time for the Grove Heights, Minnesota native. Now seeing if maybe he can flip the shoulder over as the slow clap begins. Kerkvliet watching as time trickles down. Mark at 40 seconds to go. Willham stands up, escapes, picks another point. Kerkvliet, 4 minutes, 43 seconds of riding time. Point secured on that front. The final 20 seconds. See if he just rides it out or looks for another takedown here. To conclude it, goes for the football tackle. Yet again, take the legs out from under him. To no avail. Final 7 seconds. Kerkvliet pacing. Willham around the ring. And on the mat, they shake hands. Time expires. Kerkvliet controlled 14-2 victory. 12-point advantage, all she wrote for the Grove Heights, Minnesota native, who adds another win to his undefeated campaign. Make it 6-0 for the top-ranked wrestler at 285 in Kerkvliet. The main